The topic we have is the pain is speaking. Are we listening? Pain is one of those very few experiences that takes away all our illusions. You just become so disabled and crippled, and you feel like you are done with life. We cannot argue with it, we cannot negotiate, it just interrupts. The plans, the demands. It was for me, um, I took such a long time to set a rhythm up, and one major pain attack disrupts my rhythm. And in other words, it's not just one day's rhythm, it is more like the feeling that everything I had worked at for setting something up is gone. And that is so disappointing. That is like overwhelming. You got to go back and rebuild that rhythm. And imagine somebody who is diagnosed with something major, something terminal, and you see that pain kind of restructuring the entire life of many people. Someone with a special child, parents give up their careers. Um, they had ambitions of setting something up, and now with the arrival of a child who needs attention, it changes everything. There is pain. Steiner defines this pain at four different levels. At least that is visible at four different levels. What we feel is physical pain. We also feel other pains. There is etheric pain, where the life body is disturbed, where life forces are disturbed. My rhythm, my habits, my memory is all getting disturbed when etheric body is in pain. When astral body, the subtle bodies, these are all subtle bodies, where the pleasantries, feeling of good and bad, at a manomaya kosha, that is in pain, then we are frustrated, we are angry, we are upset. That is a pain. And then at a much higher level is when my ego body is disturbed, where I don't like somebody, I judge people, I don't trust life, at a bigger existential levels. So any of these are disturbed, any of these are not in harmony. Anytime my physical body along with subtle bodies is in disharmony, there is a pain, a disturbance. It could be at a body level, very, very crippling you, but at the same time, it could be a subtle chronic tone that's running in the background. Am I listening to it? Any disturbance. I mean, that's why Steiner again and again, and not just Steiner, many of the philosophers also say silence is the tool where we just close our eyes, silent for 10 seconds, 20 seconds throughout the day, whenever we remember, to see what's happening across my body. Am I feeling in alignment? Do I feel right? When I'm lying to somebody, I know it's a lie, but then I don't know what else to do. I lie and I feel the pain. I'm not comfortable. It is not excruciating pain, but there is. Am I listening to what that is telling me? It's beautiful when Steiner says, what is this asking of me? When I lie, when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry, when I don't feel comfortable, what is that feeling asking of me to correct at any of the four levels: physical body, etheric body, astral body, and the ego body? At any of these four levels, what is asked of me to listen and to do some course corrections? One day my knee kind of jerks and it aches. What is it telling me? It's not an accident. This is very much like a child throwing up a tantrum. The child is not happy, the milk is hot, it's hungry but cannot drink it because it's hot. The child throws up a tantrum, begins to cry, begins to push, pull, get angry. But am I listening? Am I watching? This is something as a parent, as an individual, I need to develop, and I need to be thankful to these pains because these are the ones coming and shaking up my belief. Typically, we have this notion if there's a pain, I want to get rid of it. You know, these days we do have pop in pills, take it and become comfortable in the next because I have to go to work, because I have something to attend. There are a lot of pressures that are building up. You see the people from labor class, they are like on low on blood pressure, whatever. They just go to a doctor and they get IVs injected. They appear to feel good. They walk back to work. I mean, they really don't have time. They don't have privilege because food, the basic need, is a concern there. But for many of us, food is not a concern. Our basic needs are taken care of. Am I still paying attention and listening to what this pain may be communicating to me? It's an indicator. It is something that is, it's like a messenger. Now, don't kill the messenger. Now, if you can think of this pain as a fire alarm in a house, there's a fire and the alarm goes off, and I'm like, go hammer it down, pull the. I've seen people, this is especially true in the US because there are fire alarms, and even you burn an incense stick, the small amount of smoke that comes will turn on the fire alarm. So the best way, remove the batteries from the fire alarm. It doesn't even ring. So maybe I'm avoiding this small smoke, small pains, but then when there is a major one, am I even equipped to handle it? Many of us become so stressed and become so upset with life. A few of them also commit suicide because of chronic pains, because they don't want to become. Even me, I keep thinking of it. Aging gracefully is one big task of the day, because the society has made it in such a way that you need to remain young, remain fit, remain capable. You cannot just tire, you cannot just take it easy. So ignore the pain. We have all sorts of balms available, patches available. Of course, do them. I'm not saying I'm not against it. That's pain management. But then underneath that, what is this pain trying to tell me? You know, somewhere in this need to feel fit, to feel, to make people believe or make myself believe in some way that I'm all great, I'm not aging, cover it up from the outside is not going to work. And then when the pain comes back in a big way, we are shattered. So let's take this message. Why is my feet burning? Why are my fingers going numb when I wake up? Why am I not able to digest? They do say gut is your second brain. So if I'm not able to digest food well, then what is it I'm not eating right or I should change in my diet? Pain is not like a punishment, it is trying to get our attention. So, which part of me am I ignoring is something that I need to ask. I mean, people say, oh, you're overweight, reduce your weight, go for a walk, Yeah, all that I will do. But why did that pain come in the first place? What is it that isn't working in harmony? Or what is it that I have burdened in my system? And how, and there is not just a physical, maybe my I have a fatty liver and my liver is burdened and certain functions are not happening fine. So I do. But what caused that fatty liver? There is medical reason, no doubt, but also look at all the subtle bodies. At physical level, yeah, there is enlargement for whatever reasons, there's science explaining, but what caused that enlargement in the etheric body? What was not in rhythm? What was not in balance in my astral body? What did I ignore? There is a very classic case. She was diagnosed with leukemia, and she had distance from all family members. She goes in and she is given 3 months to live, and rents a log cabin and stays there trying to vomit out everything, not physical vomit, all the relationships, asking for forgiveness, asking for, forgiving people, and asking to connect. Not physical asking, but at a mental level. She empties herself out of everything that she has accumulated in terms of sadness, bitterness, um, and the reason she is distant from family. And to her surprise, leukemia is gone. And she has set up a huge ashram in US. You can Google her up. She's Maya Tiwari, and it's amazing. That story kind of moved me. That was an introductory to a book that she has written, as to how she then got into Ayurveda and how there are these daily rituals that we keep doing to identify the small disturbances. Every pain, every major pain begins with a small, slow, over a period of time issues that we have put up with because they were not really affecting my day to day operations. There was a little discomfort, but I was okay because my work, my external life was more important. Again, don't get me wrong, external life is important. I need to earn money, I need to provide for my family. But can I also take care? Can I also become aware to this pain that is waking me up, that's trying to wake me up? They are like alarms, and I don't want to keep snoozing it for a long time. Because when I'm ridden with pain, somewhere this inability comes in. You know, can I still be useful? Can I still be heard? Do I still have my power? Can I still have my choices? If I want someone to help me dress, then I cannot tell them to dress me the way I want because they have their own chores, they have their own things to do, and they're taking time out for me, and they cannot take that enough of that time like the way I want. So there is going to, especially you see in families needing someone needing attention. After a while, there is always this feeling of resentment. Again, that's also a pain, right? So somewhere, any of these, why are they coming to me? What is it asking of me? How does it want me to transform my life? Because the fundamental belief here would be I am a spiritual being having a human experience on this planet Earth. That's how Steiner defines it. So if I am a spiritual being having human experience, then I need to look at life in a much wider, bigger space. So look at all the rhythmic activities that you have where you feel the pain and see what is disturbed and fix it. Look at all the relationships. I may have had, I may have cut off, I may have been ignoring, I may have forgotten, I may be pretending I'm good with you, but I'm not. Pay attention to those. Anywhere the work is becoming a burden, it's consuming my time. I don't have time for anything else but work, work. Pay attention to that. Not just paying attention, to begin with, pay attention. And when you see that it's accumulating, okay, the work is becoming really stressful, I'm unable to manage, I'm unable to sleep. I wake up at 3 in the morning and I just can't go back to sleep. I'm snapping at people. Then something isn't right, fix it. And then at a spiritual level, at the soul level, what makes me truly happy? What makes me awaken wonder at, my God, it's sunrise again. Birds are chirping again. When do I feel most alive? When my identity with my role that I'm Shubha, I'm a wife, I'm a mother disappears. Because somewhere pain reveals values, deep down, deep down. So simple, they are not huge things. I want to spend 10 minutes of hearty conversations. I want to be independent. I want to listen to the music. I feel bad now. My father, he worked in railways, so he worked on the engine, so a lot of noise, and eventually he became hard of hearing. But he loved music, and he would like turn on full volume to be able to enjoy, and we did not like it at all. So whenever we stepped out, that was his freedom. He with the whole house blasted with loud music. Simple thing that he cherished for, and that must have been painful, right? So pay attention to this. In this modern era, we are constantly distracted because we have painkillers. There is a pain, we pop in a painkiller, and I feel all good until it fades away, and until then, I'm distracted. I continue to do whatever I want to do. So lots of distractions are there, but pain can become a very great teacher, you know, because somewhere it's telling me, it's trying to help me. Why should I resist? Why should I become numb to it? Become curious, right? So some questions to ponder, why have I ignored? Why I cannot lift 5 kgs of weight anymore? Why can't I scoot down the steps real easily in a fun way? Why can't I digest the same food? I could eat pizza at midnight and be fine next day. I can't do it anymore. Why not? Then what kind of food should I be eating? It's not just age. Of course, there is age related one, but there is also subtler meaning to what the pain brings. And I want us to become aware of that subtle meaning. Thank you.